Shalom, shalom, and welcome. My name is Symmanayah, and this is the White Rose Family Channel. The message for this episode is organic versus overlays. Organic versus overlays. And if you are one who seeks to do the will of the Almighty Father, I consider you my brother, my sister, my family. Let's get started. The things given to us by Abba Yahuah are directly organic. On the other hand, there are overlays which can be righteous or wicked. Come and see the details of such. The path for growing and set apartness comes from studying the ways of Almighty Father Yahuah. This is actually done by His Word and Spirit sent in Yahusha's name. And many struggle understanding what that means, and therefore they do not know how to rightfully assess what the Word is bringing to them as a result of the letter, the text. It's time for us to begin to look at the living spirit of Yahuah. There are those among us who think the letter, the text, is the word. They are sadly mistaken. The word of Yahuah is Yahusha. The scriptures are the letter and the text. The letter was originally written by those directed by Abba Yahuah, inspired by him. Over the years, man has proceeded forward by producing the scriptures, the Bible, some with books left out. And it's time that we grow to understand the difference, what's really the word of Yahuah. It's time that we grow to understand much of the confusion we see today is a result of man ignoring the living word of Abba Yahuah as Yahusha. When we study the text, the letter, we reach the life in it by the living presence of Yahusha. All too often, my brothers and sisters, many of us don't realize that it is the Spirit, the living Spirit, the Word of Yahuah sent in Yahusha's name. It is His Spirit sent in Yahusha's name. We know that the Ten Commandments and His laws and statutes are written for our beginnings. But many of us also know how to seek the scriptures for better understanding of the life by praying and listening to Yahusha. In other words, it's not a simple book that we can just read and we got it and that's it. It takes the living spirit of Yahusha, the word of Yahuah, to bring understanding to us, my brothers and sisters. The things that are true and direct are indeed organic. They came from the Almighty Father. Overlays can be true or not. Before I go into overlays, let us examine Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 and 16 reads, "But beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are savage wolves. By their fruits you shall know them. Are grapes gathered from the thorn bushes, or figs from thistles?" It goes on to say in the 17th verse, 7th chapter of Matthew, "So every good tree yields good fruit, but a rotten tree yields wicked fruit. There are warnings given to us, my brothers and sisters. There are warnings given to Yashar'al. Let us take heed to these warnings." My brother, my sister, my family, let me take you to Matthew 24:24. It says, "For false messiahs and false prophets shall arise, and they shall show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. So they will present things that seem true, seem righteous, but are not. Many grow in knowing who to trust and how to trust what is right. However, we must discern how to recognize the voice of Abba Yahuah, which comes in Yahusha's name, working in us, through us, one towards another. We must recognize his spirit working in us. Consider Romans 3:21 and 22. It reads, "But now, apart from the Torah, the instruction, a righteousness of Elohim has been revealed, being witnessed by the Torah and the prophets. And the righteousness of Elohim is through belief in Yahusha Messiah to all and on all who believe. For there is no difference." When we recognize the living voice of the Almighty Father, his word coming to us in Yahusha's name, as his spirit working in us and through us. For all have sinned and fall short of the esteem of the Almighty One, being declared right without pain by his favor through the redemption which is in Messiah Yahusha. Stay with me, my brothers and sisters. For it is the living spirit of Yahuwah that comes to us in Yahusha's name, whom Elohim, the Almighty One, set forth as an atonement through belief in his blood to demonstrate his righteousness because of his tolerance. The Almighty One had passed over the sins that had taken place before to demonstrate at the present time his righteousness, that he is righteous and declares righteous the one who has belief in Yahusha. His word, my brothers and sisters. There's much to learn about the set-apart life. Many people have eagerly sought to demonstrate the ways of the scriptures, but leave out the life which comes from Yahusha. Sure, you can read and get understanding, but get the fullness requires the word of Yahuwah that comes in Yahusha's name. Yahusha represents his word. There is no Trinity. I cannot emphasize that enough. Come with me to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 and 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 and 4. For it reads, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not fight according to the flesh. For the weapons we fight with are not fleshly, but mighty in Elohim for overthrowing strongholds." This requires organic instruction. This requires obedience to the Spirit. He goes on to say, overthrowing reasoning in every high matter that exalts itself against the knowledge of Elohim, taking captivity every thought to make it obedient to the Messiah, and being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is complete. You see, my brothers and sisters, when we are obedient to the Almighty Father, when we are doing what he suggests, what he orders, what he instructs, differences are made. We must grow to keep the following top of mind. John 1:1 through 1:3 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim. And the Word was Elohim, and he was in the beginning with Elohim. And all came to be through him, and without him not even one came to be that came to be." There's a difference When we yield to the Almighty Father, our eyes are opened. We see truth. We see what is righteous. We walk and set apartness. It continues by saying, in him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shined in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So many forget these words, my brothers and sisters. Let us keep them top of mind, that it is Yahusha, the word of Yahuah. It is Yahusha, the spirit of Yahuah. No Trinity. When we keep Yahusha top of mind, we can grow to avoid important actions and teachings. Come with me to 1 John 5, 3 and 4. 1 John 5, 3 and 4. For it reads as this: For this is the love for Elohim, that we guard his commands, and his commands are not heavy. Because everyone having been born of Elohim overcomes the world. And this is the overcoming that has overcome the world, our belief. By belief begins with belief, my brothers and sisters. Believing, trusting in him. While there are things we are unsure that exist, we must never forget that the Almighty Father Yahuah will reveal truth to us by his word, Yahusha. Overlays come when we either receive what is true and make mistakes. We can build on things that are true, but mistakes bring something foreign. Allow me to present some examples. You see, when there is a mistake, that can happen with the overlays, organic, straight from the Almighty Father to us, through us, one towards another. One example of something foreign are those who claim to be children of Yahuah, but are not. Another example, and we see that there are those who claim to be of Yahuah and are not, written in Revelations, where it talks about those who claim to be Jews but are not. Another example of overlays is the example of the place known as Israel. This strip of land is a state. It is not the land of Israel to be acknowledged as the promised land. It's just a piece of land that they've named. And people get confused when they start talking about Israel, the land of Israel. But the Almighty Father will bring clarity on this matter. And as he do, when he do, we will see the full organic Israel. There are also men and women who, for example, cannot grasp the relationship of Yahuah and Yahusha. They cannot understand that Yahusha is Yahuah. It's his word. When we mention the name Yahusha, we mention the word of Yahuah. No Trinity, his word. Understanding the Ruach HaKodesh means set apart spirit is easy. But realizing that the Ruach HaKodesh is Yahuwah's spirit, sent in Yahusha's name, that's the challenge that many of us face. Come take a look at John 14, 25 and 26. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. It said, these words I have spoken to you while still with you. This is Yahusha being quoted. But the helper, the set-apart spirit whom the Father shall send in my name, he shall teach you all and remind you of all that I've said to you. You see, the set-apart spirit is sent in Yahusha's name. The set-apart spirit is the spirit of Yahuah. He goes on to say, peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you in the world as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. You heard that I said to you, I am going away and I am coming to you. If you did love me, you would have rejoiced. If you did love me, you would have rejoiced that I said, I'm going away. I'm going to the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And he goes on to say, my brothers and sisters, I want you to read 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20. It's saying, do you not know that your body is the dwelling place of the set-apart Spirit who is in you, which you have from Elohim, and you are not your own. For you were bought with a price. Therefore esteem Elohim in your body and in your spirit, which are of Elohim. Elohim means the Almighty One. It actually is plural for mighty ones. And I say to you, my brother, my sister, there's only one Almighty One. That is Yahusha, the word of Yahuah. There's only one Almighty One, Yahuah. Yahusha and Yahuah are one. Yahuah is spirit, and he is the greatest. The Spirit of Yahuah is sent in Yahusha's name to communicate with us. The Ruach HaKodesh means set-apart spirit, which is defining Yahuwah's spirit, coming in Yahusha's name. There is no Trinity. What is missed is the protocol set by the Almighty Father, Yahuah. There are many who fail to understand these words, but this will soon change. In due season, my brother, my sister, this will change. The people, land, and spirit have been altered, but there's only one truth of those that are his, those who receive his set-apart spirit, those who are led by the Almighty Father, that are one by his drawing, his workings. Another overlay is centered around being snatched up any day now. This is widely taught as the rapture, a sadly presented overlay. It's an overlay because this isn't true. This is something man made up, took scriptures out of context, and made up that this rapture is going to take place. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. There's much to learn, much to understand about what is true and what is not. This is a good overlay. When people are saved by the Almighty Yahuah, are both Hebrews and Gentiles. There are saved Gentiles, saved Hebrews, and there are those that are not. And we have a hard time understanding that those that are saved, those that are drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuah, Hebrews and Gentiles, are his, and are made one under one banner. That banner is Yashar'al. Examine these words. Luke 8:19 and 20. Luke 18:19 and 20. Come take a look, my brothers and sisters. It said, and his mother and brothers came to him and were unable to get to him because of the crowd. And it was reported to him, saying, your mother, your brothers are standing outside wishing to see you. Now let's listen to his response. Let's hear what his response was. His response to the crowd was, and he answered and said to them, my mother and my brothers are those who are hearing the word of Elohim and doing it. Hearing it and doing it. That's my mother. That's my brother. That's my family. Let us also consider how those who left Egypt, Mitzrayim, with the Hebrews were saved. They were saved under the banner of Yashar'al. Come to Exodus 12, 47 and 48. It reads, all the congregation of Yashar'al are to perform it. And when a stranger sojourns with you and shall perform the Pesach to Yahuah, all his males be circumcised. And then let him come near and perform it. And he shall be as the native of the land, but let no uncircumcised eat of it. My brothers and sisters, this is an example of sojourners. There are those who were not Hebrew by race, but pursued the ways of Yahuah. There is one Torah instruction for the native born, and for the stranger who sojourns among you. And all the children of Yashar'al did as Yahuah commanded Moshe and Aharon. So they did. And it came to be on that same day that Yahuah brought the children of Yashar'al out of the land of Mitzrayim according to their divisions. My brothers and sisters, we will see that the Almighty Father calls whom he see fit. We must be mindful of those drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuah. We must be aware that there are those who are set apart and those who are not. This consists of Hebrews and Gentiles, my brothers, my sisters. We must be aware of Romans 9, 6, and 7. For it reads, however, it is not as though the word of Elohim has failed, for they are not all Yashar'al who are of Yashar'al, neither are they all children because they are the seed of Abraham. But Yitzhak, your seed, shall be called. Pay close attention, my brothers and sisters. Close attention and understand. It is Yahuah who draws those to him. And they come to him by his word, Yahusha. No one is able to come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him and shall raise him up in the last day. Drawing him, raising him. This is the workings of the Almighty Father. It is articulated in the word, his word, Yahusha. There are Hebrews and Gentiles drawn to Abba Yahuah. There are also Hebrews and Gentiles who will not be in the reign. We must grow to realize that there are at least 3 Yashar'als in the scriptures. There is Yashar'al, the Hebrew. All Hebrews are Yashar'al. But there is Yashar'al that's Hebrew and saved. There's a difference. And there's a set-apart Yashar'al with sojourners. That means spiritual Yashar'al consists of Hebrews and Gentiles that are drawn by the Almighty Father to Yahusha. And by the word of Yahusha, by the word of Yahuah, by the word of Yahusha, we come to Yahuah and we recognize the spiritual Yashar'al consists of both Hebrews and Gentiles that have been drawn by the Almighty Father. The struggle we face is understanding spiritual Yashar'al. There's widespread emotions of different types with different beliefs. These different beliefs are labeled erroneous overlays. Overlays that sound good, look good, appear to be good, but are not. Ultimately, we will grow to know that both Hebrews and Gentiles will be under the banner of Yashar'al. We will grow to recognize organic versus overlays as we press into the fulfillment of scriptures, as we see what is true, what comes before us, as we recognize what is true. We will see good overlays and there will be bad overlays. Good overlays will build and strengthen and fortify a set-apart nation, a set-apart people. Bad overlays will be the mistakes, discerned incorrectly. There are too many overlays to present. What is important involves being able to discern whether the actions are of Abba Yahuah or not. This makes a big difference, my brothers and sisters. Rise up. Rise up, my brothers and sisters, and seek to discern what is needed to fulfill what is written. Know that organic represents original. Some overlays are attempted replicas that mislead the children of Yashar'al. Examine, confirm, and reaffirm these matters. Look at them. Look at what attaches to the elements of Yahuah. And you will see the organic, straight, and righteous instructions come to you. In the overlays, you will see they either build or destroy. The things that destroy, the things that are incorrect, the things that are wrong are bad overlays. My brothers and sisters, know the difference. Make the decision to navigate in the right way, my brothers and sisters. Not in the way that seems right, but is right. Organic versus overlays. Organic. Know the things from the Almighty Father Yahuah. Know what they are. Study, pray continuously. Be under sound leadership and walk strong. That's all I have for this time. But know there's a difference between what's from Yahuah and what is not. If you got any understanding from this message, subscribe, like, share. Pass this message on. For the need to get deeper and deeper into set apartness is now. The need to know when Yahuah is speaking to us through Yahusha, his word, is now. Help me as I help you, as we help one another grow strong in set apartness. On that note, I say to you, my brother, my sister, my family, shalom to you. Shalom.